All right, well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this celebration of life of our friend and loved one, Devon. And my name is Todd, and I'm one of the teachers here at the Center for Sacred Sciences, which is a church that draws from the teachings of the mystics of all traditions and encourages various forms of meditation. And it was through Deanna's longtime participation here that I got to know her and her daughter, Devon. Today, we're here to express our gratitude for the life of Devon, who died unexpectedly on January 3rd. She was the daughter of Deanna and mother of Torin and Ronan. And I know both Torin and Ronan, but it's been a long time since I've seen them, and I've been looking around the room to see who could they be. It's these guys over here. Wow. So Torin, and Ronan. I was the guy that did the magic for you. Remember? You were just a little guy back then.
Yeah.
Well, welcome here. So today we're here to express our gratitude for the life of Devon, who died. We grieve her loss, and we're here to remember her and appreciate her and to celebrate our love for her. So it is with both grief and gratitude we come together to celebrate her life and to find solace in her death. Over the years as a teacher here at the Center for Sacred Sciences, I've encouraged those who are grieving to honor and allow the experience of the pain of grief and to counteract our natural tendency to turn away from it and to open to it as fully as possible and maybe even allow our hearts to break. And rather than close ourselves off from feeling the grief, we open to it. And it's sometimes hard to recognize, but that grief, which can be so fiercely painful, is actually the experience of love itself. And if we open our hearts to it, we are opening our hearts to our beloved Devon. And we begin to see that the grief we feel for Devon's loss is in fact our love for her expressing itself. Anytime we push away those feelings of sadness, we don't want to feel sad, we can see we're actually turning away from our love from her. And the more we recognize this, the more we're naturally drawn to allow ourselves to feel it just as it is, even though it's painful. In the words of Lebanese-American poet Khalil Gibran, your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. In another of his poems, he tells us, the deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. In this sense, the truth of death requires courage to simply feel and stay present for what we feel. And when we do so, it unleashes within us a wisdom of a deeper appreciation of this life. It reminds us that our lives are transient, that death can come at any time. And when we open into that realization more deeply, the preciousness of our life and the lives of those around us becomes more apparent. But because Devon passed so unexpectedly, and because there were no opportunities for goodbyes, some of you may harbor feelings of incompleteness, or perhaps thoughts and feelings of what you might have wished you'd said or done. And some of you may have poignant memories of the last time you were with her. But if you have any remorse or regret arising from any of this, it can be so helpful to realize these feelings themselves only arise out of your love for her, your caring about her. So, in allowing ourselves to open to the pain of this loss, we learn that the process is not easy, nor is it cut and dried. It's more like a spiral that brings us to a place of release. But then it abates for a time, and then it continues on a deeper level. Often when grieving, we may think it's over, only to find ourselves swept away by another wave of intense feelings. And for this reason, it is important to be patient with the process, to be grounded in the love it represents, and not to be in a hurry to somehow get away from it. When we allow grief to be as it is, its intensity gradually settles. It settles into softness, into love. And this softness helps cultivate a deep sense of caring and appreciation for others in our lives, and even for ourselves in a new way. And so, in this time we share together through this profound sadness of losing our dear friend and loved one, Devon, losing her physical presence from our lives, together we can share and appreciate the time we've had with her, to remember her as she was long ago and as she was just a few short weeks ago. To remember her in her times of strength and her times of need, in her moments of joy and pleasure, and in her moments of sadness and difficulty. To remember her as she was, no more and no less. And in the joy of our shared memories of her today, we relive with love and gratitude the many ways she touched each of us. May there be moments here that provide you the opportunity to offer your unspoken thoughts or prayers into our common memory and our love for Devon.